Welcome back to another episode of Cyber Tuesdays, everyone. Today is Tuesday, October the 27th, 2020, and this is episode 43. As October is coming to an end, this is the last week of Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and the focus on this week is the topic of the future of connected devices. So I will be talking about what the future is as it relates to connected devices, and I will end it off with some tips on how we can stay safe with mobile devices in general and some security around using your mobile devices. Do not forget that when I reach my 50th episode, I will be doing another giveaway and I will be collaborating with another Black business, so be on the lookout for that as well. If you guys want to continue getting some tips and best practices or just continue learning about new ways to be secured, then you can always tune into my Instagram story because I'm always posting tips that I share with you guys from last year or just new knowledge that I come across on a day-to-day basis. So to go ahead and jump right into this topic, what is the future of connected devices? And with the way that 2020 began, I'm pretty sure that you and I both did not know how this year was going to go, but as the pandemic has came into our lives and just allowed us to shift and have to make some changes, then we all know that our lives are centered around technology nowadays as we are working remotely, and there are some new innovations that can make our lives just a bit better. We are going to continue seeing some growth as it relates to connected devices with this pandemic and just going forward in general, because as we all know, it is very necessary that this pandemic allowed us to work from home or remote work and just relying on more connectivity and more devices and technology to function in this environment overall. So from a security perspective, I'm going to be talking about what this means with connected devices. This means that the hacking community has a broader landscape of potential vulnerabilities on connected devices, and these devices range from your smart devices, your mobile phones, thermostats, vehicles, gaming consoles, printers, medical equipment as it relates to last week's topic, and just other industrial systems as well. So what will make these devices vulnerable is that the internet connectivity on these devices, whether the device is Bluetooth enabled or whether those devices are on 24/7 through what we call an open or unprotected port. And what this means is that just because we are working from home as consumers or employers or just students of universities and or schools, it does not mean that the Wi-Fi that we use on a day-to-day basis or the internet provider or the mobile devices that we use or any technology is safe. It means that we need to go ahead and keep an eye open and just rely on these tips and tricks so we know how to be secured and how to make sure that our devices are not vulnerable. So there are some cybersecurity defenses that employees, students, or just consumers in general should be implementing, and these include securing your networks and also your wireless router. You need to stay up to date on your browser versions, your operating systems, and antivirus. So for those of you who use iOS phones, make sure that your operating systems are up to date. I believe that we're on the iOS 14 update as of now. And finally, just double down on your login protections on all of your devices, including your mobile phone. So for me, I don't just have passwords on my applications, but I have a password on my phone. I have a password on my SIMS card. I just have passwords across everything on my device because you never know what is vulnerable or who is trying to get into your information to steal it. So just make sure that you guys are doubling down on your login protections. There are ways that you can implement your biometrics by using your fingerprints or even just using your face scan to lock applications or unlock applications or even unlock your phone. So the first tip that I'm going to give you guys is make sure that you use a password or a PIN code whenever you are locking your phone. For me, I use an alphabet code for my phone because I feel like it's easier to remember a password or a passphrase than it is to remember a pin, but that is just my opinion. And so some things that I tend to use are like song lyrics or song titles or a title of a movie, just things like that, so I won't ever forget. And you can always use hints. So for my MacBook, I know for my password, if I ever forget it, I have a hint that will kind of give me an idea of what my password is. The second tip that I want to give you guys is do not try and jailbreak your phone or get somebody to jailbreak your phone, because this prevents the built-in security of your phone and it leaves you exposed to viruses and malware. So whenever you guys do decide to have your phones jailbroken, I understand that it comes with a lot of features that are pretty and it has your phone looking all nice and stuff, but whenever you do this, I don't believe that you can receive those updates to your phone, and so now your phone is left being vulnerable and you may have some malware or virus on your phone. Number 3, only install applications from a trusted source. I know that some are iTunes, Google Play, Apple Store, etc., and those apps will allow you to download applications that are trustworthy. If not, you can download some apps that may be hosting malware and it will expose your passwords, credit card numbers, or anything else you type into your mobile device. So make sure that you are using a valid and trusted store. Tip number 4 is avoid keeping confidential data or sensitive data on your mobile devices because they are more likely to be lost or stolen. The next tip that I want to give you guys, and it goes back to jailbreaking your phone, is to just keep your software updated, since mobile devices are very vulnerable to direct attacks from both malware and viruses and phishing attacks. As you all know, you can receive phishing attacks through your text message, you can receive them through your email or anywhere else. And so the best way to avoid this is to just keep your phones up to date, whether it's your iOS phone, Android phone, and that is going to be your best defense in response to those kinds of attacks. So I just have a few more tips. The next one is delete any text messages that you receive with passwords or other sensitive information. This is for my people who likes to share their Netflix passwords or any passwords to their Hulu accounts or anything like that. If you guys are sharing those kinds of passwords, which I suggest you do not, go ahead and delete those once you send them, or if you are the person who are receiving those passwords, go ahead and delete it once you enter that password into the application or the website that you are using. And another tip that I want to give you guys is turn off your Wi-Fi and your Bluetooth if you aren't using them. Wireless features can give remote access to hackers. Now, I know the one thing that I do is, in order to keep like the network traffic down at my house, I do turn off the Wi-Fi on my computers or my phones, and also the Bluetooth if I'm not using them, because it can keep the network traffic down, and so the network can have a stronger connection as well. And the last but not least tip is avoid sharing your mobile devices. I also talked about this. Do not leave your phones down. Do not leave your laptops lying around, especially if it's a work or school computer. Personal mobile devices are not designed to support multiple users, and they cannot be set up to protect you from risks caused by other people's activities. Do not hesitate to watch the other episodes that I recorded this month for National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. And that is the end of this video, and that also concludes National Cybersecurity Awareness Month for the month of October. But with that being said, that concludes this video. If you guys have any questions, concerns, or if you just want to chat, feel free to DM me or comment below on this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content to your friends, family, or associates, co-workers, anyone. Feel free to do so. And I'll catch you guys on next week's episode. So peace out.